Hey, well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day, and a lesson that I'm still learning. Can't believe I'm saying that, and I'm sure it's a lesson that some of us need to continue learning. And Maya Angelou, she's been gone since 2014, died since 2014, but her saying that I'm about to share to you is a saying that still is relevant till this day, still relevant. Now maybe about 7 months I did this video. I did a video on my Angelou with the same, but still relevant to this day. Talking to a good friend of mine, big up to Ray Carlos Bannister. Still talking to and he been came to that conclusion that if people show you who they are, believe them. If they say who they are, believe them. And I'm about to show some old footage of a Winfrey interview with sitting down talking to legendary, the late great Maya Angelou, poet, civil rights activist. Also, um, she acted in some. She appeared in some movies too as well. She appeared in some films. I remember back in several years ago. I seen her in some. She basically made some appearances in some movie. But this is an interview that I'll never get it out of my head, and I still now I'm accepting it more and more and more. Just saying, accept people for who they are, and I'm leaning towards that because sometimes you give people the benefit of the doubt, and you just gotta take them for who they are.
Remember them, but let's say one of the most important lessons I ever learned from you, and I still am, I think I know the lesson, and then I'll walk into a situation and think that's that same lesson, and that is when people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes, absolutely. If a person says to you, I'm selfish, or I'm mean, or I am unkind,
Or I'm crazy.
or believe them. They know themselves much better than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But no, more often than not, those of us who don't trust life say, don't say a thing like that. You're not really crazy. You're not really unkind. You're not really mean. And as soon as you say that, the person
Let you know.
and shows you, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was unkind. So now why are you angry?
When she first told me this story, I was talking about some bad relationship. Remember them, but let's say one of the most important lessons I ever learned from you.
Stop trying to change people. People make choices. People make choices and they make decisions. If they want to be jerks, let them be jerks. Just know until you have a more peaceful approach. When you approach them, you know who they are. So you have more of a peaceful in your mindset and your mental state, you have more of a peaceful attitude about it. You have more of a peaceful, you're more at peace because you're not trying to change them. You're not trying to speak into somebody that you believe they should be, or you trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Just accept people for who they are. If they're jerks, accept them for being a jerk. If they want to be mean and cruel, if they say that they're mean people and they're not so nice, accept them. People make decisions and choices, and people if they want to be mean, they're gonna be, and just accept them for who they are. Start trying to change the narrative of who they say or who you want them to be. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn it. Stop trying to change people for who, if people want to change, they know when they're ready to change. If they want to change, they know when they're ready to change. Not even God can make up their mind if they want to change. We all have, God gives us free will, and we all have decisions and choices that we make. Hey, there's some people that don't want peace in their life. No matter what you say, they don't inquire peace, they don't incorporate peace into their life. And that's a fact. Some people like and seeing people miserable. They get a joy and they get a kick and they get a thrill out of people's downfall. They get a thrill out of people's misery. And that's who they are. That's who they are. Some people are very self-centered and they're selfish. And they tell you that they don't want nobody, they don't want to help nobody, they're all about themselves. And you can't just look at them and say, well, no, you're not. I know you're kind. No. Accept them for who they are. You have accept them for who they are. You won't drive yourself crazy, or in my case, you have to pull out your if you're you pull out your hairs, worrying about trying to change them. You can't change nobody unless they want to change. You cannot change nobody unless they want to change, and that's a fact. And when you're trying to change people, you drive yourself crazy. You drive yourself crazy, and now they incorporate drama in your life. Now you have no rest. You have no peace. You have no peaceful moments in your life because you're trying to mold people into who you want them to be. And there's mean people in this world. And there's a saying that goes, you can lead a horse to the well, but you can't force him to drink. You can do all the preaching, try to give them good advice, solid advice, but the final decision, because they're adults, is going to be theirs. You can push somebody and try to motivate somebody, but the final decision is theirs. If they want to push themselves, people, they want to have to push themselves. But if you see somebody going down a dark path, spiraling down a dark path, and you warn them, you tell them that, listen, this is not the path to go. All you can do is pray for them, and but you cannot you cannot fight to change their mind, because at the end of the day, especially if they're adults, they're gonna make a decision. You can give them good advice on advice, give them warning after warning, and tell them, listen, this is not looking good. And multiple people can give them warning, but if that individual don't want to change, pray for them and wipe your hands, because at least you did your part and you told them the danger that lies ahead of them. And that's a yes. You told them the danger. But some people, they're hard-headed and and you see them going down a dark path, and you give them good advice, and all you can do is pray for them, but don't drive yourself crazy. You just can't, because they already made a decision. You see, when you incorporate drama in your life, and it's all on you, you made that decision to allow that person to come into your life to just not bring peace in your life, to bring mayhem, and to bring confusion. You try to change them, but there's nothing you can do. You argue, and it's not getting you nowhere. You just driving your blood pressure up. It's time that you make a decision. And you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth just fighting with that person, arguing, and they're not changing? They don't see nothing wrong with their behavior. They don't see nothing wrong. They don't see nothing wrong with being a jerk. They don't see nothing wrong with treating people awful. They don't see nothing wrong with just talking to you in a disrespectful manner. They don't see nothing wrong with it. But it's up to you to allow this. It's up to you if you want to incorporate them in your life. Yeah, sure, you can love your loved ones from a distance. You can love them from a distance. It's up to you if you want to incorporate them in your life. They say they don't need changing. People all around them, few people see that they need changing, their behavior and their attitude and their disrespectful ways. If they don't see it, they don't see it. Just accept them for who they are. If they don't see it, just know you have a more peaceful approach with it. Just know. You just gotta know who they. Once you come to that conclusion that this is who they are, just wash your hands and let them be. Maybe they'll change, and maybe they won't. Maybe they change, and maybe they will not change. It's not up to you to change them. The biggest mistake that some people make is giving others the benefit of the doubt. If he told you that he has an issue with cheating and has issues with not being faithful and not being a long-term relationships, and he used to having different women here and there, and you accept them anyway, my sister, is on you. You incorporate it into your life. You should have listened to what he say. Don't ignore. It's the things that we ignore turn around and bite us. Stop ignoring certain things. They're red flags, and you still went along with the program anyway. Now, the live word of the day is coming out of Ephesians chapter 4, verses 22 to 24. To put off the old self, which belongs to your former manner of life and is corrupt through deceitful desires, and to be renewed in the spirit of your minds, and to put on the new life, created after the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness. Now, this scripture is saying that you got to be willing to put off the old ways. The old ways, all things have passed away, all things become new. Now, God gives us free will. Free will. He doesn't force us to come to Him. He doesn't force us to have good character. He doesn't force us to treat others with respect and love. If you want to come to Him and you want to change your life, it's up to you. It's your decision. Not even God can force you to come to Him. He gives us the gift of free will. Now, God gives us free will. What makes you think that you can change somebody? What makes you think that you can change their minds or change the way how they treat people or change the way how you can advise them, but you cannot change their mind? The final decision is theirs. Well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings. Until next time.